So in this video, I'm going to show you some mobility exercises which will be great for you as horse riders, and it's going to concentrate on the upper back, both at the front of the pec and the shoulder, and the back of the shoulder and the upper trap. We're going to look on those external hip rotators, the glutes and the lower back. So I hope you enjoy. You're going to need to get a lacrosse ball or some sort of hard round object like an apple, and you can do this before you get on your horse or before, as a warm-up or cool down. Okay, so in this video you're going to need a lacrosse ball. I have been known to use an apple before. So this exercise is going to work that forward rolled shoulder position. It's quite an unstable position that can limit your capacity to create external rotation and keep those shoulders back. So here, position the lacrosse ball or the apple above the insertion of your armpit where the external rotators sit. There's no right or wrong way to do this, but put it somewhere where you can feel some pain, and then the goal is to get pressure on the ball, and then you can roll your hand towards the ground or behind, or you can do what I'm doing and just find the pinch point. You move it all around the shoulder, the back of the shoulder, and when you find somewhere that feels nice, you might want to just stay there and roll over it. There's no right or wrong way to do this, you just want to do it, and a few minutes of this can really relieve shoulder pain. You can also get into the top of the back by doing the same thing. So find some knots, and then you just want to find somewhere that feels nice and put some pressure on the ball. By using your legs to get your hips off the floor, you can put more body weight into that ball and to get a greater release on those knots. It's quite addictive, it feels very nice. So this next movement is going to work on those tight pecs and those tight shoulders. So first of all, put the ball on your pec and start rolling around until you hunt out a stiff spot. And once you've found that stiff spot, you put your arms behind your body to get a greater amount of pressure onto that ball, and just move it around pinch points. And you can do that on both sides for as long as is necessary. So this next exercise just resets the pelvis a little bit, and the idea here is we use rotation and counter rotation by pushing on one knee and pulling on the other to fire your hamstrings and hip flexors at the same time to reset your pelvis. So push on one knee with one hand whilst countering the pressure with your other leg. So you're firing one hip flexor and then pulling on the other leg to counteract the pressure. And hold this for about 5 seconds before switching sides and doing it on the other sides. And repeat this sequence going back and forwards between positions, resisting for approximately 5 seconds. So this exercise is the classic spinal twist, and it catches any tight regions in the lower back. It's an easy way to reduce stiffness in this area. So lie on your back with the feet on the mat, and then keeping one shoulder flush with the mat, drop the knees to the other side. Then place your top legs slightly over the bottom leg and cup the knee with your hand and just pull it down whilst keeping the other shoulder on the mat. Hold this for approximately 5 seconds and do on both sides. This exercise is excellent for riders because riders are very tight in their quadratus lumborum, and this is an exercise that can help ease back pain that is caused by stiff sides. So from the cross leg position, put one foot over the other knee, and then with that leg, bring your left arm over your head, which falls to that side, keeping your torso and arm in the same vertical plane, and then repeat on both sides. To make this stretch deeper, you can bring it down towards the floor and you'll really feel it all the way through the hip on that open side. Okay, so this next exercise is called the glute smash, and if you spend a long period of time sitting down, this exercise is going to be great for you for sort of waking up your butt tissues. So essentially, you don't need to overcomplicate this. You just get the lacrosse ball, put it under your glutes, and then essentially roll around until you find like a tight spot, and then you just want to roll around on it. And this will really release the glutes. And you want to spend about 5 minutes per cheek, and then you can open and close the legs to increase or decrease the difficulty. And we can also do this on the side of the hip or side of the glute. This particular position is probably the most painful mobility exercise that you can do. And I'm keeping quite a raised position because it's pretty painful, but if you want to increase the tension or the pressure on the ball, you can bring yourself lower to the mat, but you want to cover up your pain face. It's pretty painful, but it's worth going through that. Okay, so this movement improves overall hip function and hip flexion and helps support lower back and hip pain. So you want to start on your hands and your knees and put one of your legs up front and then put your arm the outside of that. And then you don't want to just hang out here, you want to move around in this position. So you want to try and keep that shin vertical, but you can do some external rotation of the hip, pushing in one way, and then move your body from one side to the other side and move around the tight areas. You don't want to just stay in one position. Really move and flex into it and move around. Do this on both sides, and you want to hang out in here for as long as possible. And you probably want to repeat this for a couple of rounds on each side. Again, this position is going to help you with hip flexion, overall hip function. So sit upright with your legs out in front of you, and then put one foot at 90 degrees out in front of you and the other one behind you. And then again, you want to move around the pinch point, so leaning forwards, moving to the sides. You can increase this stretch even further by bringing that back leg behind you straight and then moving around the pinch points as before, so left and right. So another way to get into that hip is set up as if you were going to go into the previous stretch, but then keep that leg up, so that front leg up, and then just externally rotate it, but without the knee touching the floor, and just again work through the pinch points, facing away from that knee and towards that knee. This is a quadriceps stretch. If you can't get into this position, you have ridiculously tight hips and quads, so I'd encourage you to do this mobilisation as much as possible. And to further increase this stretch, we can use the couch or the wall, and we're going to drive that back knee up against the corner of the wall or the corner of the couch so that our lower leg is positioned on the wall or on the couch essentially, and we're going to hold that stretch. Now, for obvious reasons, as you can see, you probably want to do this exercise in the safety of your own home rather than showing it to lots of people on YouTube or on a website. But hey, this is the happy baby stretch. And essentially it's relatively uncomplicated. You want to lie on your back and bring your knees towards your chest. Grab your feet and keeping your shoulders flush with the floor, and just grab inside your feet and pull them towards your chest. Okay guys, I hope this helps you. Thank you for watching, and if you liked what you see, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel where you're going to get lots more free content of fit rider workouts, mobility exercises and everything more. Thanks!